Hi, I'm Jennifer Vetz of Belladonna's Botanicals, and I'm going to have to invest in getting seats for both my cats who are currently swarming at my feet right now, who may or may not jump up on me at any time. So may have some surprise guests here for this video. But I wanted to talk a little bit, since I predominantly create witchcraft-oriented products, and there's a lot of people out. I'm not alone in offering that type of service, but sometimes I get questions about things, and there's going to be a lot of variations in how each person creates their products. There are traditional methods in which certain types of products are created, especially if they're more folk magic oriented or they have long histories, things like hot foot powder, Florida water maybe, doom powder, some things of that ilk, or particular oils or products. Moon, can we not? Sorry, Moon is climbing on top of her cat tower. The cats are just going to be, they're just part of the team now. I give up on trying to edit them out. But as I was saying, so some things that have more traditional types of oils, like whether it's a road opener oil or fast luck oil, there might be some traditional elements to composing certain oils or powders or things of that nature. But everyone is going to bring something from their own practice and their own area of expertise to it, and also what is available to them. Like I mentioned, road opener. So the traditional road opener herb is called Abre Camino, and it's not easy to get where I live. It's more, I think it tends to be more tropical climate, and there's like one place where I can get the fresh leaves, which I then have to dry, dehydrate and stuff for use. Sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not. So I do try to use it in, I didn't initially add it into the first iteration of like my road opener powder and things like that, but I've started adding it in when it, as it's available. Because sometimes things will just, I've had to recently modify things because of, supply chain issues. There's just some things I can't get anymore, or they are on back order, or have been out of stock for months on end, and I at best I get from the supplier is check back in 2 or 3 months, see if we have it in, So I can't rely on that, so I've had to make some ingredient adjustments to my products just for that reason alone. And, because something doesn't have a particular ingredient or has different types of ingredients, doesn't make it more or less effective. I mean, the product is what it is. It is that intention of that product. Like I had I think it was on Amazon, I had a complaint from someone that's like, well, hot foot powder is supposed to be a darker color. I'm like, I'm sorry, for whatever reason, the cayenne pepper I had, that batch was like neon red orange. There was not much I could do to like dull down that color. So it was more like reddish brown than say black. And the color of it to me isn't that important. Now, if that is something that's really important to you, there are probably hundreds of people who sell hot foot powder, so go buy it elsewhere. But there's sometimes going to be variations in things of that nature. Like for last year, I was having trouble finding patchouli leaf. I could find tons of patchouli root and stuff, but that changed the composition of some of the things I use patchouli in, like particularly powders and incense. So you get a different consistency of things. So sometimes you're going to see little marked changes in things, but it doesn't affect the overall use of the product. So it's like sometimes people get hung up on like little details, like was this charged on a particular, lunar cycle, or on a particular type of altar with this particular entity, or with this particular this or this particular that. And you know, it's, I mean, if you feel it needs that, by all means, once you buy the product, you can charge it on your own altar. Because I'm running out of spaces to put altars in my house, and you know, I have quite a few. As I mean, every flat surface in my house pretty much looks like this. You know, so it is. I can only work with the space that I have. I can't set up an altar for every pantheon, every type of practice and things like that. I do the best I can with the energy and with the entities that I work with. So that's, you know, something to kind of take into consideration. Now, everyone's going to have different approaches to how they do things. Like with the stuff I make that are for particular, you know, gods and goddesses, demons, angels, whatever. Some of that stuff is direct channeled to me. Some of it, you might look at it and go, well, this isn't something I associate with this particular entity. I'm like, that's the information I got. There are some that have particular things associated with them. And I do look at some of the traditional things, the traditional botanicals or scents or incense and things like that are associated with different entities. But I also go by my intuition, because that's telling me something about how I am supposed to create that product. So maybe it has a different, you know, smell than you are expecting, or different ingredients than maybe traditionally that other people have created it that way. I don't know. That's just how I'm guided. And I had made a quick TikTok video about this before, and I swear, like, every time I take a nap, like, someone comes to me and is like, oh, you know, that's where most of my product ideas come from. I'm like, I've got to make a bath for this one, I got to do this ritual oil, I've got to do a water for this, and I've got to do, you know, amulet, you know. I get a lot of things downloaded to me in meditation, when I'm trying to sleep, and other things of that nature. So that's just a little bit of how product creation works when you're doing spiritual products. And, you know, there's going to be a marked difference between buying a mass marketed candle that you can get in a metaphysical store and buying a candle made by someone like me. I don't make and sell candles myself, just because I really hate making candles. But you're going to get a different energy to it. Like you almost just, you know, are buying a candle like you would be if you were buying a candle at, you know, IKEA. You know, but you can take that candle you bought at IKEA, you could inscribe some sigils on it, you could anoint it with oils and powders and herbs, and then you've got a magical freaking candle. So you can do things like that. Everyone has different, and I've gone into this in different videos I've done on product creation. Like, some people do planetary magic or lunar stuff, things like that, and might use that particular kind of energy within their product creation or their work. Again, you're just getting, whatever you buy, you're going to get different energy from whoever creates it. And, you know, I wouldn't get too hung up on the details of, oh, this has this in it, but not this, or this has this, but instead of that, what? You know, and also, like I said, right now, supply chain issues, like, you know, sometimes I just have trouble finding things. And where I used to be able to get them reliably, now not so much. Or the prices have doubled, if not tripled, on some things. So, you know, a lot of what we're seeing, you know, not to get into sort of, you know, geopolitical things, but, you know, a lot of, you know, the supply chain issues and the price increases are across the board on literally everything. Like, a lot of the carrier oils I use, I'm like, wow, this used to be like $29.99, now it's $39.99 a gallon. Okay, like, every time I order something, it's an entirely different price. So, you know, and I have to account for that at some point. So, you know, it becomes an issue of, I'm like, okay, which carrier oil is cheaper now? Maybe I want to switch to using that one. And then sometimes there's carrier oils that are more associated with a particular intention. Like, for me, I think, like, avocado oil I associate more with, like, prosperity type magic. So those ones those types of products tend to have an avocado oil base, maybe sometimes olive oil. I try to stay away from sweet almond oil because I know some people have nut allergies, but you know, it's just trying to, we're doing the best we can here with that. So I just wanted to kind of give a little, you know, update because this is something I get questions about, or, you know, people are curious about processes and how we do things. And I like to be open and transparent about stuff, and, you know, is my way the one and only way to do something? Of course not, you know. I mean, there's plenty of ways. And when you buy something, by all means, you can do whatever you want to with that. If you want to, you know, bury it in the ground for an entire lunar cycle, or you want to charge it in the sunlight, or charge it on a particular altar, by all means, I mean, you can do that. That, you know, it's whatever you want to do with it is up to you. So anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I do have a lot of new products coming out, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to start trying to do a lot more product like info dumps on different products, how to use them, what they're for, all that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Love y'all.